are back for another exciting time. My plate, my choice. You guys know, I thank you, everybody, for taking the opportunity to tune in and spending 30 to 45 minutes with me every Monday. It means so much to me. Much respect to everybody who takes time out of their day to check out the information that we put out on this platform. Really excited to get started today. Of course, I don't think you all as an audience understand when I say that I'm excited about a particular subject matter or topic that we're about to discuss. Yes, I am very excited. I'm always excited, but I also know the excitement has to be tempered a little bit because it's going to be met with very much resistance. I know when I start talking about things that kind of hit home for certain people, it's going to be pushback. But I want you to understand that every time I talk and get with you all, I come from a place of love and I come from a place of education. I just would like to educate as many people as I can about the do's and don'ts, how to make better decisions, even from the smallest things to the greatest things, and understanding how those factors impact and influence your life for the positive or for the negative. So I hope that everybody always understands that my goal is to always come number one in love and come number two from a place of education, a place that I just want to share knowledge that's applicable for all ages, from teenagers up to your 60s and 70s, 80s, if you're blessed to be here in that stage of life. That's always the goal. So without further ado, let's get into it today, man. Listen, today we're going to talk about a thing that I know culturally we all battle with, and that is fried versus grilled. Yeah, fried, Fried versus grilled. With grilled, you can say grilled, baked, air fried, things of that nature. But yes, we are going to. I appreciate you too, Deborah. Thank you so much. But we're going to talk about understanding those things of fried. Priscilla says she can't see me. Can everybody see me? I haven't seen anybody else alert me and say they can't see me other than that comment from Priscilla. So please let me know if you guys can't see me. I see myself, but I just want to make sure everybody else is good across the platform. So if I don't see anybody else say I can't see you, I'm going to assume that everybody can see me. That the picture is gone. Okay, I don't know why the picture is gone. No, still no picture. You guys still can't see me. Let's see. See what we can do here. No, still can't see me. No, still can't. Still can't. All right, so I'll talk and I will probably jump on with my handy dandy phone here. All right, but listen. So here we go. I'll talk and you guys can listen while I get this picture out because today we're talking about a very important subject matter. Like I said, I want to make sure I get this information out. But talking about fried versus grilled, understanding why do we mess with these fried foods? Why do we eat fried foods? Why do we deal in fried foods? What is our overall goal when entertaining fried foods, guys? I'm about to get on from my phone if that's okay with you guys, so I'll still be able to see everything. Let's bring this up. All right, so let me know really quick. Can you guys see me? Can everybody see me? Please tell me that you guys can see me now. Yes, yes, yes. Three, two, one. Can you guys see me? Waiting, waiting, waiting. I just need somebody to say yes. One person. Give me a yes. Okay. All right. Boom. So yeah. All right. So yes, yes, yes. Okay. You guys can see me. Okay. Boom. All right. So let's get to it. Here we go. Boom, boom, boom. Without further ado, fry versus grill, right? So I need us to understand this. Why do we fry it? And I want you to start thinking about as we talk. Let's think about a couple of things, right? What all do we throw in the fryer? And not us as an individual, but we eat that's been fried. Like, let's think about it. I can give you a list because we have gotten real creative and we have just said, baby, we're going to throw everything in the fryer, right? So if you are big on fairs and you like fair food, you're going to mess with fried Oreos, you're going to mess with fried cheesecake, right? You're going to mess with those two on the sweet side. Now I see it's this big thing. You know, you got fried ribs out there. Of course, we all know we love a good fried sandwich, a fish sandwich, whiting, catfish. What else? Come on, what else are we frying? Of course, we like French fries. Of course, can't leave out chicken because we know we messing with fried chicken, right? There's so many things that we like and that we entertain that are fried, right? You just think about it. French fries, like everything that you consume that has been fried, right? And how frequently you consume those things that have been fried. I want us to think about that. Just put that on the wall, right? And we'll get back to it in a second. So here we go, right? I need you to understand this. For everything that you eat that is fried, and guys, you know, whenever I bring out my notebook, we're about to get real active, okay? Got it? We're about to get, so it means I'm not speaking from just me and what I know. I'm actually speaking from me literally, like I needed to put this down because I didn't want to miss anything. Got it? So here we go. For understand this concept right here. For everything that we eat that is fried, there is an alternative for it, right? Keep in mind, for everything that we eat that is fried, there is an alternative, a healthy alternative, a better alternative that you can do. Even if you were to go to Chick-fil-A, like I know we all love Chick-fil-A, right? So if you eat the fried nuggets, what's the alternative? Simple, grilled nuggets. Do they taste the same? No, but it's an alternative. They have French fries. What's an alternative? Fruit, salad. You know, I had somebody tell me about a week ago that mac and cheese was a they felt like that was a good alternative than getting the French fries. Hey, I'm not here to argue with anybody. I'm just here to put the information out. You do with it what you want, okay? All right. So for understand this, for everything that you eat, there is a healthy alternative to it. So you are not married to just, oh, well, I got to eat this fried food, right? You're not married to that. So I want to debunk a lot of that today, all right? But you got to think about it like this. I can remember as a kid, and I let cursing go years and years and years ago. I let cursing go, right? But I can remember a particular time in my life where cursing was every other word type occurrence, right? And I can remember talking to my dad, and no, I think it was my mom, because I was on the bus one day and I was on the phone with my mom, and then we got off the phone, but I forgot to hang up the phone. And my mom later told me she just sat on the phone and she said, I just couldn't even believe that that was my son talking the way that you talk. And I was like, Mom, you got to understand when you talk and you don't curse, it doesn't have the same, it don't have the same seasoning on it. You feel me? It doesn't have the same seasoning. It's not the same when you don't curse. And so she would always be like, son, there's so many other ways you can express yourself, not that. So listen, maybe that's a little help for anybody that may still struggle in that area. It's cool. Listen, but the point that I'm making exists. Just like I found other means to express myself, I had to expand my vocabulary in a good way. Like I love to break out big words that puzzle people because I feel like big words puzzle you more than a curse word will. You understand what I'm saying? So you have to figure out a different way to do it. That is no different than this. You have to figure out a different way to eat things that you enjoy or get things that your body needs that aren't going to take you too far left. So yeah, I may not be able to enjoy all the fried foods that I get, but there's so many other things that I can do that will help me better than the fried foods do. So let's get down to it, right? Let's get down to it. Let's get down to it. Let's get down to it. So I want you to understand this. Let me give you an example. When you fry things, when you fry it, it increases everything in a negative way. Okay. When we fry things, it increases the value of it in every category in a negative way. And I found that multiple studies show this to be true. It increases your calories, it increases your trans fat. It has a negative impact on your health. It leads to clogged arteries. It increases the risk of death and heart attacks, increases the risk of cancer, diabetes, and obesity. This is all just consuming fried food. Nothing else. This is all just consuming. I'm not telling you what it is. This is all just once you dip that in that grease that you like to hear popping and snapping and crackling until you feel that real crispy thing that we like. Right. Frying food increases your risk of clogged arteries, death, heart attacks, cancer, diabetes, obesity. It increases the calories and it increases your trans fat. You got to understand this going in the game, right? Now, like I said, I'm coming from a place of love and I'm just here to educate. Got it? You're going to still make decisions. You're going to still do what you decide to do. I just want to put the information out there so that you can make a educated decision when you sit down to eat. Make an educated decision. Got it? You got to understand that. So that fried piece of chicken that you like to eat, that fried fish that you like to eat, every time I consume that, listen to what I'm doing. Again, I'm increasing my risk of clogged arteries. I'm increasing my risk of death and heart attacks. I'm increasing my risk of cancer. I'm increasing my risk of diabetes. I'm increasing my risk of obesity. This is what happens because we love fried chicken or fried fish or French fries or whatever. Anything that got to go in that grease, that's not the type of baptize you want, right? That's you don't want to be baptized in that grease. That's not what we want. Understand that, right? So let me give you an example though, because a lot of us, like me, I like real life examples. It helps me connect the dots. Okay, so I'll give you 2 examples. We eat baked potatoes, right? Like a loaded baked potato, right? We've had baked potatoes. Okay, so think about this. A small baked potato, that's 138 grams, okay? 138 grams of a baked potato, baked, has 128 calories and 0.18 grams of fat, okay? Think about that. A small baked potato, 138 grams, has 128 calories and 0.18 grams of fat. So not even a full gram of fat is consumed when you eat that baked potato, okay? Now let's look at it. That same weight, 138 grams, but we're going to take some French fries made from a potato. Well, I'm not talking about anything extra done to it. French fries made from that same potato, same weight, 138 grams of French fries. Ask me how many calories there are. I'm going to help you. 431 calories. Look at that jump. You went from 128 calories, same food. One of them's going in the grease, one went in the oven, right? Same food, nothing different done to it. You went from 128 calories to 431 calories. Oh, you ready for the fat? Okay, remember I said the baked potato is 0.18 grams of fat, so not even 1 full gram of fat in that baked potato. Oh, but when it comes to the French fries, we're talking about 20 grams. For that same 138 grams, you go to 20 grams of fat. Look at how your numbers increase because you just said, man, I love some French fries though. I gotta have some French fries. Oh, I got to have some French fries. I got to eat it one by one and put a little drop of ketchup on each French fry. Eat it. Yo, come on, stop playing. Come on, I just want to keep you here. I just want to keep you here living a healthy life. That's all I'm trying to do. I promise you. Listen. And we all love fries. I love French fries. I'm telling you, I could go back and forth with you on who has the best fries. I promise you. But we got to make better decisions for our lives. That is what it boils down to. We have to make better decisions for our lives. All right. I'll give you another one. You guys eat cod? Cod. I think cod is one of those. It's a type of fish. I do know that. But I think cod is a fish that Captain D's uses a lot too. I'm pretty sure they use cod a lot when you're eating their fish. It's a lot of cod that they have on the menu. I'm pretty sure. But listen. So if you were to take cod, which is a fish, it's a white fish. All right. So you take cod and you give me 100 grams of baked cod. Okay, 100 grams of baked cod. That's 105 calories and 1 gram of fat. Okay, 100 grams of baked cod is 105 calories and 1 gram of fat. Now, let's take that same cod. Okay, all right, you ready? That same cod. Now, what are we about to do? We're going to drop it in the grease. We're going to let it get that anointing of the grease, right? And we're going to pull it up, hot and crispy and popping like we like, right? Ready to sauce it up or dip it in some sauce, right? Now, let me tell you how that same 100 grams of cod changed just by going down in that water. You went from 105 calories on baked cod to 200 calories on fried cod. You went from 1 gram of fat on baked cod to 10 grams of fat on fried cod. So you have to think about that. When you go and get something and you fry it, you change the characteristics of it exponentially and not for the better. Like, it doesn't benefit you. Does it taste better? Yeah. Do we like it more? Yes. But is it beneficial? No. You are picking up so many things that your body is going to reject. All right. So what happens when we fry, right? What happens when we drop it down into the anointing of that grease that y'all like to call it? What happens when we drop it down there? I'm going to tell you. When you fry, things lose water, and guess what they do in the grease? They absorb the fat of the grease. Come on now. When we fry things, they lose the water that is inside of it, and they absorb fat. So if you say, I'm trying to slim down, or I'm trying to live a better life, I'm trying to make better decisions, you can't do it when you're going a route that leads to you constantly consuming more fat in your body. It's not going to work that way. It doesn't work that way, guys. Like we come on, we got to work together on this, right? So I want you to understand this. Like, let me ask you this question, and I want some feedback real quick. I got some time today, right? So when you guys fry, because I know I got some anointed fryers on here, right? All right. So when you guys fry, what do you coat your chicken or fish in? What do you coat your chicken or fish in? I'm asking. What do you coat your chicken or fish in? When you fry it, what do you coat it in? Because it doesn't just go from the pack to wash to seasoning to the grease. You coat it in something. What do you coat it in? Y'all are not typing fast enough. Y'all love to type real fast and say amen real fast and hallelujah, thank you, Jesus, real fast. But when I ask y'all a question that you're gonna have to expose something, tell me, when you fry your stuff, what do you coat it in? Flour, right? Flour, meal, flour, cornmeal, and buttermilk. LOL. Jen, you cutting up with that buttermilk. Listen, all right? So listen, do you guys use all-purpose flour? You guys use all-purpose flour? Is that what we use? All-purpose flour? Because y'all just said flour. Do we use all-purpose flour? Because if we do, don't tell on yourself. If you use all-purpose flour, let me tell you something. All-purpose flour calls for more oil absorption. So when you wrap it, when you coat it in that all-purpose flour, and you're like, oh yeah, because it get it extra crispy. Why? Because it squeezes everything out of there and allows for more oil to go in, which gives it a crispier finish, right? But when more oil is going in, that means you're consuming more fat. You gotta understand how this thing works. This is why we gotta stay away from fried food altogether, right? I'm not. When I say altogether, I'm just saying make conscious decisions about it, right? You have to make conscious decisions about it. I'm good and I understand, like I always say, that everything is good in moderation, right? So if you get something here and there, that is okay. But when it can't be a regular part of your everyday life. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why it cannot be a regular part of your everyday life. Here's why. A 4-year study with almost 15,000 participants, okay? Hear me. A 4-year study with almost 15,000 participants concluded eating 2 servings of fried fish per week is associated with higher risk of cardiovascular disease. Just think about that. I'll read it again. A 4-year study with almost 15,000 participants concluded eating 2 servings of fried fish per week is associated with higher risk of cardiovascular disease. So what's the trade-off here? Right? Right? Life's about decisions and understanding decision making. So what is the trade-off? So in order for me to enjoy that fried chicken, in order for me to enjoy fried fish, what am I trading? How many years am I trading off of my life? Or what health issues am I trading for this bite, for these bites that are going to be good? But I'm trading something. Guys, again, I'm just here to educate. I'm just here to give you the information so that when you sit down, again, what is the name of the show? My Plate, My Choice. I know what's on my plate when I eat. You have your own plate and it's your choice. However you choose to eat, whatever you choose to eat, that is on you. But when you go to the doctor's office and they start telling you your numbers and they start telling you things that you don't want to hear, you have to understand all of that is contributed to what you eat. I'll give you guys a real life example, right? And not to toot my own horn, but I'm just give you guys a real life example. So I have a client now, and because I want to dispel something, I tell you guys all the time that your overall health is not only contributed to how you move, right? So you do want to have some form of movement, but I need you to understand movement is such a small portion. It's really working out that movement. It's only 10% of your overall health and that nutrition from the nutritional aspect, right? So I have a client. We have at this point, at the point that these things started happening, we probably have been training twice a week for maybe about 7 or 8 months, right? And so she would share with me from her doctor's appointments, things that the doctors would say, things that they would tell her that they want her to pay attention to, yada, yada, yada. And I would always say while we were training, I would talk to her about what she eats. And I would tell her, everything will change based on how you eat. Based on how you eat, everything will change. We do these things to ourselves. You have to understand, it's not a systematic thing. Like the things that we deal with, they're not systematic. The only thing that makes them systematic is the fact that we continue to do them. Because from one generation to the next generation to the next generation, we haven't decided to educate ourselves and make better decisions. We continue going down the same path, and we know how such and such ended up. We know how auntie, cousin, grandma, we know how they ended up. We have got to make better decisions going forward, right? So back to the client. All right, so numbers had gotten way out of control, so much to where she started experiencing like aches and pains in her body. We kind of had to change up kind of how we were training because of things that were going on. And I knew, I'm like, hey, every time I would say, well, what'd you eat this week? What'd you eat this week? Lay out your meals and how did you eat? And every time I would just point out, no, you need to stay away from that. No, watch that. No, watch this. No, watch that. Yada, yada, yada. Right. So then she was probably the primary reason that I even started to meal prep for clients across the board. Because she was like, well, you need to meal prep. You need to meal prep. Da, 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 da. Well, needless to say, I started to meal prep. So I meal prep for her every single week. So when we trained this week, she let me know she was down. How much her weight had come down since the last checkup, because she has routine visits, how much her weight was down. And then she let me know that her numbers, because once you're in certain brackets, they give you your numbers and they're telling you these numbers, we need you to be in this category. We need you to be in this category for these numbers. We need you to be in this category for these numbers. We need you to be way over here, right? All right, man, listen. So when we started, her numbers were so far right, they were terrible. I'm telling you, they were terrible. Terrible. And they were concerned. They were talking about like different changes that she needed to make. And I said, hey, listen to me. I'm no doctor, but I promise you, it starts with how we eat. So when we started meal prepping, and so she was happy to share with me this week how much weight she's down. And she also shared with me that her numbers are so impeccable right now, like that they are amazed at how much her numbers have changed in the amount of time that they have changed, because usually you don't see that level of drastic change. But why the change? Because of how she eats. It's all in what you consume, ladies and gentlemen. Like, we can't expect our bodies to be healthy. This body that God has blessed us with, and God continues to bless us with days and hours with, we can't continue to treat it badly and expect for it to produce great things. We can't do whatever we want to do, eat whatever we want to eat, and expect the body to produce this phenomenal, these phenomenal traits and these phenomenal attributes. Like we can't expect this. We've got to start to make these changes. We've got to start to make these changes. All right. Got to start to make these changes. So you say to me, George, oh man, listen, I made this note at the top of the page. So I want to make sure I get it. Listen, a study, one of the many studies that I kind of read through, found out that each time oil is reused for frying, the trans fat in the oil increases. Think about that. Every time the oil is used and reused, the trans fat in the oil increases. So let's look at this, right? Let's look at it from this perspective. I know I'm not in your house. I'm not at your job. I'm not in your car. Wherever you're watching, I'm not with you presently, okay? But I'm going to tell you this. I know something about our culture. I have been to enough fish fries. I have been to enough house parties, gatherings. I've been to enough events to know that this happens. Once you fry that chicken in that grease, once you fry that fish in that grease, fries, everything, hush puppies, everything that you fry in that grease, what do we do with that grease? Oh, we find an empty container in the house and we pour it in there, because that's some good grease right there. We're going to reuse that later. Y'all want to play or y'all want to be for real today? Y'all want to play or y'all want to be serious today? What are we doing? Right? Y'all know we reuse that grease. We reuse that. Listen, I can think of one specific person I would constantly have these debates with on some like, yo, throw the grease away. Like, it's grease. Like, oh no, all the seasoning in there, that's good for the next time. No, throw that away. right? I want you to think about it. How many times do you reuse grease in your house before you throw it out? Don't answer it. Please don't answer it on the chat. Just to yourself. How many times do you use grease and reuse it before you throw it out? And then think about it like this, right? Even if that's not your thing in your house, right? Let's think about it from this perspective. When you go eat out, they are not they're not cleaning the grease every time they use it. Like they may use grease for a whole day. They may use grease for a couple of days at a time, depending on how much traffic that particular restaurant gets. You got to think about, they are constantly reusing that grease. And every time the trans fat in that grease is increased. So you may go today and then you come back and go to the same place like later this afternoon, or you think about those things, right? And that grease is going to increase. That grease is definitely going to, the trans fat in that grease, it is increasing, which means the level of fat that you may have gotten the day they took it out the pack is going to be doubled or tripled in the value of it. And that's not a good thing. Because now when you eat that fried chicken, when you eat those fries, hush puppies, fish, whatever it is, I do not care. When you eat that, now that value is now transferred to what you're about to consume. And then you wonder why the next day you're lethargic. And you wonder why your energy is low. You wonder why you just like, you got that brain fuzz. And it's like, I just can't focus today. Why? It's because you are what you eat. They taught us that in elementary school. They taught us that you are what you eat. That statement still holds true. You are very much what you eat. So when you go through your days and that energy level is just so low, go back and look at what you're eating. Because what is the nutritional value of what I'm putting in my body? Okay, I got it. We'll close with this. I got you. We'll close with this. I'm going to close my notebook so y'all know I'm done. I don't have to have multiple closings. I'm going to close one time because I know y'all already made y'all a little mad today anyway, and it's okay. And like I said, I come from a place of love and knowledge, education. I just need y'all to understand that. I'm not trying to beef with anybody. I just want to give you good information that you can practice or not practice. It's up to you. But my goal is always to educate not just our people, but everybody. I want everybody to be educated on these things, okay? So let's look at it. If you feel like you are so married to the fryer, you got to fry your stuff because it tastes good. Listen, I'm going to give you a couple alternatives. I'll give you two that I know and I use often when I meal prep. And for myself or for clients, here's what I do. I have an air fryer. I use the air fryer or I use the oven. A lot of us don't know how many great benefits that the oven has. All right, I'm going to tell you a little secret that I do with the oven, right? Especially if I just don't feel like firing up the grill, I'm going to throw, like, let's say I'm cooking salmon, for instance. All right, so here's what I'll do. I'll put the salmon in on 350, right? We all know 350 is like the natural setting for people on cooking, right? So you're going to put the oven in, let it heat to 350. I'm going to slide the salmon in there, okay? I'm going to let it cook on 350 for about 10 minutes. And then because I wanted to have like a little bit of a crisp to it, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to press this button that I know a lot of us don't even use on the oven. It's called broil, broil, broil. I'm going to press that button and I'm going to set it on high. Now, when you do that, you got to stay on top of it. Don't let it stay long because you're going to burn up your food. Okay, listen. But you're going to let it broil. Maybe 4 or 5 minutes, depending on how thick or depending on how crispy you want it. But you can do the same with chicken. Bake it and then switch it to broil. It'll give it that crispy, crunchy taste without grease, without a fryer. The air fryer is the same. What's circulating inside an air fryer? Heat. It's not a pool of grease. It's just heat. And that heat will provide your food with a crispy taste, with a crunch taste that isn't bad for you and it isn't going to hurt you and isn't going to take time off your life in the long run. Like I said in the beginning, for everything that you eat that you have to have fried, there is an alternative to it. There is an alternative to it. There's another way that you can do this. If you bring chicken from Popeyes, put it in the air fryer a few minutes and wash your grease, you're about to ban French fries. I'm telling you, listen. Okay, I was with my friend. I was with my best friend Friday. We slid to pull up on some food trucks. She wanted to get something from the food trucks Friday, right? So let's try this new barbecue place. And I mean, clearly the food is good. She cleaned it up, so the food had to be good. But she got these fried green tomatoes, and y'all know how we love fried green tomatoes. Me, I'm a Florida boy, very much love seafood. That fried green tomato, when you put that crab meat on it, and whatever that I don't even know what the sauce is that they put on. Like, that's from God. I always feel like that, but I can't do that like that all the time, right? But here's the thing. So they were eating the fried green tomatoes and squeezed it with a napkin. When I tell you the amount of grease that ran out of the fried green tomatoes onto the napkin, like, you have to think about that. Like, it just, like, I mean, like, literally, like, you could, like, wringing it out like a washcloth type stuff, right? And just the amount of grease that just came out. That's what you consume. And now your body has to try to break that down. And you wonder why you got issues. You wonder why we in the doctor. Because why are we so high as far as type 2 diabetes? Why are we so high? It's because of what we eat. It's because of what we eat. You can control it based on what you eat. Why are we having heart issues? Because of what we eat. Listen, do your part. I'm not going to beat you over the head. I'm just going to say, do your part. Everybody has to do their part. You want a healthy life, do your part. Like I say this, and people ask me all the time and talk about my discipline and things like that. Listen, my discipline is no more. I'm no more disciplined than you are. And I will say this, and you can hold on to this. If you are disciplined in one area of your life, you can be disciplined in every area, because it's the same level of discipline. If you're disciplined when it comes to money, budgeting, and saving, you can be disciplined when it comes to eating, because it's the same. Discipline doesn't change the characteristics. It's still discipline. You still have to sacrifice. You still have to make conscious decisions, right? That is discipline, right? So if you can be disciplined with your finances, you can be disciplined with your food. Oh, yeah. If you can be disciplined with going out, you can be disciplined with how you eat. If you can be disciplined with shopping, if you can be disciplined with things that you love, right? If you can be disciplined on those, in those areas, then you can also be disciplined with nutrition. You explain to me this. How can a person who's very disciplined and spends time reading the word every day, you spend time reading the word of God, you spend time praying, you're very disciplined with all the things that you have going on in life, you make sure you get that time in. How can you also tell me you're not disciplined enough to eat right? Think about it. It's the same level of discipline. It's the same level of discipline. So all my urge to you, or my plea to you today, as I wrap this up, is to just make better decisions. All right. We got to think about it all the way through. Let's make better decisions. I want everybody to live a long, healthy, prosperous life. They say health is wealth. That is true. So your health is where your wealth is. Anyway, all right. So thank you guys so much for tuning in today. Like I said, man, I appreciate you all for taking time out of your day to kick it with me for 30 minutes and just allow me to drop gems and give knowledge that I hope will be beneficial, and I hope it's things that can help you in your everyday life. But listen, I appreciate it. I promise you, I can't say it enough. I'm so thankful that you guys get on the platform every Monday and check me out. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate it. You guys